Hi everyone, welcome to Little Meatballs Nursery. I'm Sandra. Welcome if you're new here and welcome back if you're returning. So hey guys, how is everybody today on this fine Monday? Well, it's raining out over here. And I know it's snowing in some parts. Alicia said that it was snowing in Kentucky this morning. So yeah, I don't we still have snow like on the rooftops and stuff because it did snow over the weekend, I think it was Saturday. But it's raining. It's heavy rain and it's cold. It was so cold even with the heat on, and I had to keep turning it on because the heat would go off, once it gets to a certain temperature in the house, and I was still freezing, and I was like I was covered with zillions of covers and everything. It was terrible. I was just freezing. I was freezing. But anyway, so it is cold here, so that's why I have my nice thick sweater on today, because I don't like running the heater when I'm doing a video. I feel like it makes too much noise in the background. So yeah, so I said let me get my heavy sweater on because it is cold today. But rainy. I don't like the rain. I know I said this before, we need rain. Obviously, we need rain. But these days are just, I don't know, and then my joints start to hurt and everything and ache, and it's just not good. But anyway, um so yeah, guys, today is going to be more of a happy video, more geared towards the actual dolls because this is a doll channel after all. So we're going to go through baby clothes. I washed all the baby clothes, so we're going to go through them together, fold them, pick which outfits we're going to dress Danielle and Jack in, and we're going to dress them and have a chat about dolls. And it's just going to be more of a regular Sandra video because I know the past few videos have been more of about life updates and things that are currently going on. I will just quickly say that Ethan still is staying at the place where he initially went. And we have spoken to him. Well, Jason mostly. I'm not ready. I'm not at that point yet. But I have heard him on speakerphone. And, I'm trying to come to an agreement with him, because I don't want him to stay there longer than I don't want him to be there at all. you know but that's kind of the path he chose, and so I'm trying my best to come up with a compromise that we all could live with. And he's not willing yet to meet me halfway. So I think I don't think that he and this is why, this is another reason why I'll just tell you first. I don't think that he fully grasps the situation. I don't think that he fully understands what happened that day or the 3 days leading up to that. I don't think he fully gets it yet. I don't think he gets it at all, to be honest with you. I think he thinks that that's just another day in his life and he can move forward and do whatever he wants still. That's not the case. So and now listen. I love my son. He is a good kid. Okay, he is. He is a good kid with a good heart. Um, just like my brother. Just like my brother was. But sometimes you need help. You can't, with mental disorders. And this is why it's so important that he get on medication. But I don't think it is it partly his fault? Yes, but it's also the chemicals, the imbalance in his brain that is and his disorders that he has been diagnosed with, that continue to make him delusional, if that's the word you want to say, or just not in that mode to care or understand what happened. So in that sense, like, you're still talking to the same person, right? You're still, it's kind of like my brother. He was an addict, right? And when my mother would talk to him when he was high, it would go in one ear at the other. You wouldn't even he wouldn't even know what you said. It was pointless. It was really, really pointless. And not that I'm making that as an example. I'm not trying to say that mental illness is in the same category as an addiction. Although, I mean, the two go hand in hand. But my son is not an addict. But he has that mentality where you can't speak to him. It goes in one ear and out the other, and he thinks that anything that was done is like okay. and we're supposed to just move along like nothing ever happened. And this is where that kind of comes into play, what I mean with, you know, and my husband doesn't mean any harm by this, but he coddles him. He makes him like he's still, a baby, like he's still a toddler. There is no real consequence to a lot of things. And it's nothing against my husband because that's just his nature. Jason has a more caring and loving and just kind of more serene behavior. Like he just doesn't let a lot of things bother him. Things, in my opinion, which should bother him, but they don't. And so that's kind of where I come in and say, hey, look, this isn't right. And then, it causes conflict. It does. But so, at this point, I feel like Ethan doesn't want that, anymore. I think Jason is holding on to that more. So I think maybe part of Ethan being there, even though, Jason's still talking to him when he needs him to talk. And, like today he's going over there after his doctor's appointment to bring him his DVD player and a couple DVDs. I said he could have those because he doesn't have a phone. He doesn't have, at first he wanted to switch. And no, he's at a shelter. He's at a homeless shelter, and people look for things to take and pawn. I mean, let's be real here. People, they don't have money, and they're all there for a reason, right? One reason or another. And I just don't want things that I paid a lot of money for to get stolen. So I told him, I'll give him a couple DVDs at a time, and if he's responsible enough to not lose them or don't know where they end up, then eventually I'll give him a couple more. And I think that's fair. But anyway, so I think that, it's just that he's not in that place yet. And that comes back full circle again to my point that they allow kids in this state at 13 years old to make their own medical decisions and decisions about mental health and whether they want to be on medication or not or any of that. But their brain isn't even fully developed. They at this point he doesn't even know himself like that something actually wrong happened here. So to me, like how could you allow, how could the state allow that? Like allow him to make those decisions when he doesn't even realize what happened. So it makes it very difficult. And even up till this morning, because I had this idea before he even went to the shelter about a contract, just stating that he would take his meds every day, without a problem, without excuses. And also that he would not flip out if I was to ask about his homework. And those were the only two issues, really. He refused. He wouldn't sign it. So then I had the idea once, now that he's there, I said, Jason, why don't we bring it up to him again? Bring up the idea of, this contract, but never mind the school stuff right now, because right now we're trying to get him into a day program, instead of the school. But that's going to take a few weeks. But anyway, so I'm not even worried about grades right now. Okay. I'm kind of putting that on the back burner because his mental health is more important. He's got to get straight, So I asked Jason, I said, what do you think about the idea of bringing up to him again about a contract, but this time just simply stating that he must remain on, once he's prescribed the medication, he must remain on the medication if he is to come back here. He has to take the medication every day without problems. He cannot refuse it. He has to take it because we can't make him take it. Remember, in this state, he has to want to take it. So if he's here in my home, he needs to be taking his medication steadily. So Jason's like, okay, we'll bring it up to him, So Jason's on speakerphone and he's like, well, mom kind of brought up the idea again of the contract. Would you be interested in signing it this time? Just stating that you would be willing to take your medication every day. And if you did not take it, then you would have to go back. And the first thing he says is, well, what if I forget? So here comes the same answers that Ethan usually will give, okay, to give you guys an idea. So he said, well, what if I forget? So right off the bat, I'm like, Really? Okay. I didn't say anything because Jason's talking to him. But anyway. So then I said, because he was on speakerphone, I said, well, you won't forget because me and dad are going to make sure we give it to you every day and we'll watch you take it. And then he says, well, what if I can't swallow it? You know, these were the same issues, the same reasons before why he stopped taking the medication. And then, then Jason would even crush it up for him because the doctor said that type of medication you could crush up. So he would crush it up for him and put it in his food or dessert. And this happened too when he was like 11 years old, when we were back having problems then. And he would demand certain foods or drinks to put it in. Like he would, Nutella and vanilla ice cream were two of the favorites. And if we didn't have one of those on any given day, and he had to take his medicine every day. If we didn't have those, he would fight his tooth and nail. He would not take it. Nope, I need Nutella to take it. I need it in Nutella. I need it in vanilla ice cream. If you don't have that, I'm not taking it. And it was such a damn struggle. It was like, really, we tried putting in yogurt, applesauce, all kinds of frosting, even cake frosting. Would not take it. Would not take it. So when he said that, okay, on the phone this morning, I knew right away that he wasn't ready. He's not ready. He doesn't. That's not extreme neither. What I'm asking of him is not extreme. And the reason for the contract is, I know it's not a binding fucking contract, but it's something to keep him responsible. Okay? That, if you're in this house, all I'm requiring you is to take the medication every day so that you don't have outbursts again like that. And just flip the whole household over. So his answers, okay, I wasn't going to play his game because usually I'll play into it a little bit. And I would say, well, if you can't swallow it, then we'll crush it up. And then he would have a follow-up to that. So I didn't even bother because I'm not going to play the game. That's why he is where he is, because he was playing games and he went too far. He went too far. That's his responsibility, that's up to him. And now he's at a place where he's going to have to be responsible. Yesterday, he called us up yesterday morning. Well, Jason again, because I don't talk to him personally on the phone. I'm not ready to do that. I'm still very deeply hurt for me and my other children. And it takes me way longer to get over something, especially something like that, than Jason. So, anyway, so he was talking to him, and Ethan was saying how the shelter was closing from 9 to 3 yesterday because they were short staffed. So they have to have 2 staff members in the place at all times. If they don't, if somebody calls in sick or somebody can't make it for that shift, then they close the shelter and everyone in the shelter has to leave for those hours of that shift. So he had to leave. And Jason was freaking out more than him. He was like, well, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? You don't even know how to go on the bus route. Is there somebody there that could go with you? Da, 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 da. I get him being nervous for Ethan, but damn, I'm like, let him figure it out. This is what he wanted. He didn't want to stay home. He wanted to go to this place. So let him figure it out. He wants to act grown. He wants to do grown things. Let him be grown. Let him figure it out. He'll be okay. And I have no doubt, and I told him, Ethan is a strong kid. He's a tough kid. Okay? Believe me, he's going to be fine. And Jason was, okay? The whole time from 9 to 3, Jason, you could tell Jason was like nervous. He was like, just trying to stay occupied because he kept thinking about him. Obviously, you could see it, okay? 3 o'clock came. It was like 3:15. Ethan called him, laughing, da-da-da. Oh, I went with a friend. We just, went to the park, da-da-da-da-da. I said, I told you. You just let him be. Let him be, okay? And, Jason says, well, maybe I just miss him. Maybe I just want him to go. And I said, you see what you're saying? You see what you're saying? You want him to come home. You miss him. I I'm sure he misses you. Okay? But that's not why why this is happening right now. That's not what this is about. Of course we miss him. Of course we love him. All those things are obvious. But there's a bigger picture here. Like it's not that cut and dry anymore. It's not that simple, you know? But anyway, so that's the update. We're still trying to get him in a day program. He's saying he wants to go. Um, Jason was going to go there and show him the bus route today, but for some reason, Ethan told him last night that he doesn't want to go to school today. And you know what's weird is that last night he told Jason he wanted to go on medication. But then when I asked him this morning about the contract for the medication, those were his answers. So, it's real wishy-washy, and I'm not doing wishy-washy. I'm just not. I need answers, definite answers before I'm sorry. And if somebody thinks that's rude or mean, I'm sorry. But, I've had it. I've had it. But anyway, so he didn't want to go to school today. So tomorrow, he's saying he will go to school. So Jason will go early in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, ride the public transportation bus to the place, which is downtown. So it's a good 25 minutes from here. And he has to switch buses at the plaza. And this is all 6 o'clock in the morning. So he could get to where he's at and then take him to the plaza on the other bus, switch the buses, get to the school. But then he's telling me, Jason's like, why make it more difficult? Have to switch buses. I can just go get him and bring him here in time to take the school bus from here. And then go to school from here on his regular route, and then after school get on the bus and come back and get dropped off here, and then go down to the public bus and go back to the place. Now, at first I was under the impression that he was going to take public transportation, like he wasn't coming here to catch no bus. But when I mentioned that, Jason's like, why you have to make things more difficult for him? Just let him get on the bus here. What's the issue? Well, one of the issues is that when we trusted him to get on the bus here, he didn't get on the bus. He was roaming around by the buildings, and he wind up missing, and I had to make a missing persons report. Did you forget about that? I mean, how do we know he's going to get on the bus? If he's staying down over there, then he needs to find his way. Like, what do you mean make it harder for him? He's made it harder for himself. So, anyway, as you see, I'm getting too worked up again, and I really wanted this to be a happy video. So, 18 minutes is long enough to be talking about updates. Okay? There's the update. Again, just a big thanks to everybody that told their stories. I got flooded with emails and messages, and I loved every one of, not loved them. I was happy that you shared with me. Some of these stories were incredibly heartbreaking. And how you guys got through that is beyond me. And you know who you are. I've gotten several of you that have written me long, long, long emails, and I read every one of them and I answered them. And, sometimes you just don't know what to say because the stories were so incredibly heartbreaking, and, you don't know what to say about it. But thank you for sharing. Also, thank you to the people that donated so that Jason was able to take an Uber to get Ethan to where he needed to go. That helped tremendously. And just thank you to all of you who commented. The comments were crazy on those videos. I do want to say I have deleted those 2 videos since, because I felt like enough people watched them. And I really, the reason I deleted them, to be honest, is that I don't want newcomers, like new people coming into my channel, and that's boom, the first thing they see. Because that's not what this channel's about mainly. It is a Reborn doll channel, and, other dolls, and it's a doll channel. And I didn't want people, coming in and kind of seeing that as, their first impression of this channel. Because it's a lot. It was a lot to listen to and watch, I'm sure. So That's why I decided to do that. No other reason. But anyway, so let's get moved on. Let's move on. It is getting cold in here. I didn't think it was gonna be, I know it's cold, but I didn't think it was gonna get this cold. But I'll survive. I'm looking at my hand, guys, and it's getting all cracked now. I really need lotion. I have like alligator hand. This whole hand is alligators. And you know what? My hands are bad. Um, I don't, you know what I don't see, the thing is my hand, oh my god, my hands are like sandpaper. Um the thing is, I'm always washing my hands, washing something, doing something with water. And I don't like to put lotion. I know I'm bad. I don't like to put lotion because I'm afraid if I touch the babies or the baby clothes or their blankets or something, that they're going to get stained with lotion. So I don't like to do that. But I do need to moisturize my arm. I'm embarrassed. It's pretty bad. But don't focus on that. Here, maybe we'll just do one hand today. So I want to give a shout out to Sherry, because, well, number one, her granddaughter got a car for her birthday from grandma, early birthday gift for a toddler. She got her Power Wheels, and she sent me a little video. She looks adorable in it, and of course she's playing Britney Spears on the radio. Of course, what else, She looks adorable in that. She said she grabbed the Maggie doll toddler and she put her in, riding around with her and Barbie and stuff. So that was adorable, really cute. And also Sherry said that her aunt was visiting and she held her Rosalie doll and she loved her so much that she called her up and asked if she would sell her. Poor Sherry. So she may sell her, she may not, but she pointed her to reborns.com to find a baby of her own. So how sweet is that? That now her aunt is interested in getting a reborn. It's always fun when a family member joins in, right? Or just anyone that, you can talk to about the dolls, right? And relate to. Hey, this could be the beginning, Sherry, or something really cool, You go to flea markets together, you go, looking for baby stuff. So that's really cool. So shout out to Sherry. Then I got this Happy Mail that I showed you guys the last time. And so I washed everything. So this was from Alicia over at Padme Padawan Little Reborns. And she was so sweet. Thank you, Alicia, again. And Tony. Thank you so much, guys, for sending me this. I needed a little cheering up, and it worked. Maybe not on that day I opened it. I should have waited because I knew the way I was feeling that day that it was kind of like a blah, like blah, like it was, I was happy when I seen it, but it wasn't postable. It was very just like down in the dumps, and I didn't want that for this because I know, you guys are struggling as well. And for you to think of me and send me anything at all was incredible. So thank you so much, Alicia. I appreciate it very much. I washed this and now it's so soft and fluffy and smells like Dreft. Oh my God. I love the smell of Dreft. So smells nice and look at how fluffy that got. It got way fluffy in the dryer. So, I'm going to put that, I might give this to the new baby, to be honest with you. I might. See, this is getting hard because the new baby, let's say the new baby has been shipped, Saturday. I've been tracking her now. It says Thursday delivery, but it is priority mail and she's only a couple states down. Usually when Anna ships my doll, it will have a ridiculous delivery date scheduled. Last doll with Danielle, I got so surprised because it actually got here the next day, even though it said like 3 days later. So while I'm not expecting it today, maybe tomorrow. I'm hoping for tomorrow. If not tomorrow, definitely Wednesday. I don't think it's going to take till Thursday. No way. So if not tomorrow, then Wednesday. So I'm so excited for that. I so need a box opening, guys. I have not had a box opening since Danielle. And that wasn't that far. I'm like, when did Danielle get here? Like, I want to say, was it? It had to be the. Oh no, was it January? I think she got here the middle of January. I want to say because I bought. She was my first. Was she my first baby of the new year? I'll have to go back and look. I believe she was. Does anybody remember? I think Danielle was my first baby of the new year. So that would have put her here. Yes, because I paid for her late December is when I paid for her. So she was worked on for two. She got here like I think 2.5. Yes. So she was here mid-January, and then I ordered this new one to be here for Valentine's, so February 14th. So that makes sense. So my January baby and then February baby is coming now. So I don't know if there'll be another one coming. Gotta watch and see. But I don't have any real plans for another one. It's if one pops up on Reborns that's decent and I have it, maybe. But I'm not like searching because I do have Danny's birthday coming up in April and Easter. So that becomes a little tricky. This kid wants this. Oh my God, this kid, he's into this game called F and F. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it or if your kids play it. It basically is I don't even want to call it music or singing because it's more of a beat. So they're beats. So on the keyboard with the arrows, it is this kind of game, okay, that's on the screen, and it has this. They call these characters boyfriend and girlfriend. Okay, so it's like this boy, and he has like a backwards hat on and a microphone, and he's kind of remember what is it called, beatboxing? Is that what it's called? Like there's sounds. They're it's not like really singing. It's like but very fast. So what happens is arrows drop from the screen. Okay. It's kind of like when you play Just Dance for like Nintendo and the arrows show you which way to go, which way to dance, like your next move or whatever. So the arrows are dropping and they get quicker as the game goes on. So as you progress, the arrows drop quicker and multiple arrows all over the place. When you hit the right arrow, when it gets to the spot, then your score goes up and you make the music. So you're making the music that you're supposed to be doing. Let me tell you something. And every morning Danny says, okay, time for my finger exercises because that's what it is on the keyboard. He's like, with the arrows, with his fingers, like fastest fingers win, I will give him this. Look, the beats are annoying, and half the time, like in the morning, especially when I'm trying to have my coffee and my meds haven't kicked in yet, and I got a headache, and I'm like, please, Danny, please put your headphones on. I can't take it right now, because it gets to you. It's an annoying sound, So sometimes he'll put the headphones on, but I will tell you this. He's good. He is really, really good. He does not miss a beat. He doesn't miss an arrow. But that kid going on the keyboard, I'm like, oh, Madonna me. How am I supposed to relax here with my coffee? I can't do it. But I have to. He is really great at it. So good for him. But sometimes I'm just like, Danny, please. But anyway, so. The reason I'm telling you the story is so those characters come in like plushies, So I had he wanted them so bad for Christmas. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I bought the set because they don't sell boyfriend separate from girlfriend. They come in a pair. So I got them the knockoffs from Amazon because the official ones are like $100-something. No. So I got the knockoffs from Amazon and they went right back because girlfriend has on this dress, like she has actual boobies, and like her dress, she has this red dress on, and I just felt like it was inappropriate for his age. It really was. So I returned them, and of course, Christmas, he was waiting for them, but he got a lot of other stuff he asked for. But besides that, I kind of let him know before Christmas that Santa wasn't going to bring him because I didn't want him to be totally disappointed on Christmas morning, because that was like one of the main things he really wanted. But anyway, I know kids don't, kids are innocent and they don't think of things that way. But as a mom, I just felt uncomfortable giving that to him. I think they went overboard, with the exposure to the titties. Okay. It just was not for a 8-year-old. Okay. That's for sure. So I returned those. Now they came out with the official boyfriend figure. And it's a like polyvinyl. Is that what you call it? It's just a regular like, and it's like a Funko Pop size figure. So it's chunky, It's official, it's not a knockoff, it's official. And they made this whole commercial to go with, to pull the kids in and be like, oh, look at this cool jingle about this boyfriend figure doll, whatever the heck he is. And so Danny's been showing me the commercial. Now, to me, the commercial is very similar to My Buddy. Does anybody remember the My Buddy doll from the 80s? My buddy and me, they climb the tree. They're, having a snack. That's kind of along the lines of this commercial, but they show the kids hanging out with this little, 5-inch chunky figure and like talking to it and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, Madon, how am I supposed to now get this? He says, well, Mommy, they have it on Amazon, but you got to be quick. They don't have many. So I said, all right, I'm thinking, all right, what could it cost? I said, all right, put it in the cart, what for your birthday, whatever. $65. $65 for a little figure. Now, here's my dilemma. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't even think Kevin pays that much for the most exclusive pop figure ever. Okay, Kevin, do you? I don't know. Maybe you do, but that's different. Adult collecting is a little different than for an 8-year-old. But I have never heard of a figure like that for that much money. I understand it's official. It's authentic. You pay more for the name brand. I don't even think My Buddy cost that much. And he was like way big, he's like a real kid size. No, I don't know what I'm going to do with this because I had so many other things in the cart I wanted to get for him. And I told him, I said, Danny, you're really going to have to make a choice here because I can't do, he likes to unwrap things. I said, I can't do all those other things that Mommy was possibly showing you that you were like, yeah, I like that. Yes, I like that. I can't do all that too. Like I had nice, the shirts I'll still get him because that's clothes. But I had a lot of other stuff in there for him that he wanted, that he asked for. And now it's this. And he's like, Mommy, I don't want any of that other stuff. I just want the figure. I just want the boyfriend figure. Now, when you think about it, okay, so all the other things I was going to get him add up to more than $65 anyway. So if I just don't get that stuff and just get him the one thing he really truly wants, is it any different than getting him a bunch of other gifts? I don't know. So I'm all about quality over quantity over here. So should it be any different for Danny? It's just so hard for me to say to spend that amount on a figure, on a little figure. It's like, what do you do? But being that he really, really wanted Christmas, he wanted the plush, and I didn't get it. And now this. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I could always use advice, So I guess I'm trying to look at it in both perspectives. Like if I was going to spend more than that anyway on, say 5 other gifts, and he's telling me, Mommy, forget those. Just get me the one thing I really, really want. That's my logic here. Even though my other logic is saying, what are you, nuts, spending $65 on a fucking figure? A pop figure. It's not a Funko Pop. It's by another company, but it's the same size. It's like in the same box type thing. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I have a couple weeks to decide that. But I don't know. I don't know. I get like, I don't know. I just can't see it. But he does. He does. And I don't know, only time will tell if I come on here and show you Danny's birthday stuff. You may see it. You may see it. You may not. I don't know yet. But we'll see together, right? Because you never know. It really depends, how his, behavior is the rest of the month. And I mean, Danny's pretty good. I mean, he does, I mean, especially under the circumstances this month, I mean, he's been an angel. But it still doesn't justify spending that much. Help! Anyway, let's move along. Yes, so love this. We're gonna just put this over here. Oh, so kind of what I was saying is, too, that when I get this new baby, right? Like I wanted to put her in this. I watched all the Kate Quinn stuff, guys. I did watch my new, copper pearl gown from Aunt Sherry that she sent this for the new baby that's going to be here, but we don't know if it's going to fit yet because it's a bigger baby. But so I don't know. I kind of wanted to put this on Danielle today, but after I show you guys all the other outfits, I think I may pick like a romper, a Kate Quinn romper, just until I know if the new baby will fit in this, because this was meant for her. And Sherry, see, when I washed it, those little pieces came off. Well, I mean, there's a couple still there, but nothing like it was. I think a lot of them were little, like they weren't kind of attached to the fabric itself. It was kind of just hanging by a little, you know what I'm saying? So that came off in the wash. It still has the little, what do you call it? Piling. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's because of the color. It's white. You can't really see it. It's like right in here, but nothing, nothing bad. So from here, you can't see it. So, and with my eyes, Sherry, believe me, once the baby's in it and I put the baby over there in the bassinet, I don't see a thing. I don't even see their face. I can't even make out their face. Like, if you were to dress all my babies in the same outfit and just put them in different places, sitting from my chair here looking over, I couldn't tell you who was who because I can't see their face. I better go get glasses. Jason's like, you better go get glasses. You can't even see the TV. So I mean, we have the big screen TV up there, but when we're watching something, like if there's like writing or something, I can't read what they're saying. Jason has to read it for me. I can't see it. But like sitting here and I'm looking at the couch over there with the toddlers. I mean, I know who's who because I know who I dressed what in. Who I dressed? No. What I dress? No. I know what I dressed them in. Okay. And I can't see their faces over there. I mean, I can see like their outline, like with their hair. So I could tell like who's, Maggie, obviously she has the long dark hair and, the other two. But I can't make out like if I didn't know what color eyes they had or what kind of expression they had on their face, I couldn't tell you. So yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. But anyway, I have to redo. Listen, besides my eye exam, I missed my sleep study. So that was the first step to see if I had sleep apnea because my insurance won't cover any kind of weight loss drug or surgery unless I have it. So I missed that. I have to call to reschedule that because that was on a day where we had to find Ethan where to go and all this. So I missed it. Which I was upset about, and I still am, because look, I couldn't take care of what I was so excited this month to do what I had to do for myself, and life happens, and I couldn't do it. So, maybe there's a reason. I don't know. I have to believe that maybe it happened for a reason. I wasn't supposed to go yet. I wasn't supposed to go that day. Maybe the bus would have crashed. Maybe I wouldn't have, maybe I would have got bitten by a dog. I don't know. I think like that. Maybe there was a reason why I didn't go that day. Maybe there was a reason why this happened on that day, so I couldn't go. I don't know. I think that way. But I do need to reschedule it because I do need to find out so I can move along. Now I have the weight loss doctor on Friday, I think it is. But it's always something else. But I'm not going to talk about that in this video. I mean, so it's good to go. But she's kind of going to tell me the same things that my primary doctor told me, especially about my insurance. You know, she's going to say, I'll write you the script, but how are you going to get it? You know, how could you pay for it? You have to find out. You have to have a code. The doctor has to write in something that says, look, she needs this and this is why, and you got to pay for it. You know, so it's going to be the same thing. So is it kind of a wasted trip? I mean, I don't know yet. I don't know. I think the best thing probably to do would be to reschedule the sleep study for ASAP and do the correct steps, because otherwise I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna walk out of that office feeling worse than when I went in, because there's gonna be nothing she could do for me until I have the sleep study done. She could tell me, you know, explain to me the things that I could do if my insurance will cover it, but we won't know that until I take the first step. So I don't want to do it backwards because I don't want to be let down. You know, again, I feel like every time I go to a doctor's office, I come out feeling worse than I did when I went in, because a lot of times they're just like, either, well, we don't know, or I don't know, or, you know, I don't know, you know, the same thing. So, but anyway, back to the gown. So, I was going to put this on her. We'll see. Let's go through the outfits. Let's go through all of them, and then we'll see. And then I also wanted to go, depending on how long I talk for, because it's already 40 minutes, however long it gets us to get through here. And I told Sherry, it's like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about today. I have nothing to say. And she's like, once you start talking, you got it. And she's right. I don't know. I just all of a sudden just start, you know. Anyway, so let's continue to go through the outfits, and then I have 2 medium flat rate boxes here, empty at the moment, except for my famous dryer sheet at the bottom. I have 2 of them here because I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to, after we're done going through the clothes, I'm going to turn the camera and show you the stroller is full of Ziplocs with items for the giveaways. So we're going to kind of today, if I have the time on this video, what I thought I would do is show you each item and then throw it in one of the boxes. So we're kind of going to curate 2 different giveaways. That's what I decided to do. So we're going to do 2 medium flat rate boxes. You're going to enter separately into the giveaways. And I'll explain how you're going to enter, because I'm going to do, I do fairly easy giveaway entries, like, you know, you put an emoji or whatever. But I'm going to do a little bit of a twist on these, because so I have a lot of people that watch, but not everybody can watch every video, especially when they're longer. So, and because I make them hidden and I don't announce them in the title or anything, I kind of think that there are people that would enter that just don't get a chance to. So what I'm going to do is, I think for these giveaways, I'm going to post a message on my page. I'm going to post a message on my page once we're doing the entries. So we may have a bigger pool of people. Either that, or I was thinking to not post it on my wall, still do it as hidden, but just add a handful of names that I think would want to enter, and just throw their names in the ball. And then if they are picked, if they do win, I would announce that on my wall and say, you want a random giveaway, you know, contact me within whatever, 48 hours to claim your prize. And that way it's kind of like a surprise. You know, they didn't know they even entered. I don't know which way I'm going to go yet with that. But I do know that there are people that do watch, don't comment often, or they cannot watch every video because they're longer. So I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I'll figure it out. But today I just wanted to kind of separate some stuff into each box. And you guys are going to help me decide which box goes in where. I don't know how you're going to do that because this isn't live, but I'm going to kind of put in what I think, and then you guys can watch and then comment below if you think that an item should have went in the other box or the other way around. We'll do it that way. I know Alicia's going to have fun with this. I'm going to have a lot of comments. But we'll talk more about that if we get to it today. But let's, for now, focus on the clothes, okay? So, now, I do want to say, so first I'm going to show you the Kate Quinn outfits and how they washed in the machine. Now, I washed them on delicate cycle, cool water, delicate cycle, washed and dreft. I always do an extra rinse on all baby clothes because I don't want to have to wash them a second time. And there were a couple times where I guess they, even after I washed them and dried them, to me, you know, when you add a little bit too much soap and then they feel soapy, not good. So I always do an extra rinse after the wash is done. I'll do an extra rinse of all the clothes and then I put them for tumble dry low. So a couple of these I did have to hang to completely, you know, finish drying, but this one is so cute. And I think this one is going to go on Jack. So this is the newborn. These are the model fabric. So they're very soft and very slinky and they're ribbed. They have that, you know, rib design in them. So I showed you all these when I got them. So I'm not going to kind of like go over them again and show you each one, but I'm just going to show you, I'm not going to like doing details. So I'm just going to show you what it is and then, you know, put it over here to the side. So we're going to fold that. I think either this is going on Jack or the teddy bear Carter's outfit. But that color looks really nice. Okay. I have the babies in front of me, by the way. They're right here. So we're going to dress them. Okay. So then I'm kind of just showing you the Kate Quinn outfits first. Because I'm doing that for a reason. Okay. Because I'm going to just talk to you about like wash and wear and stuff and different brands. So this is the purple one. And, you know, looks brand new. The only difference is it's a lot softer than when I got it. So when you wash these, they get softer. So that's what I like about these two. So this is super slinky and super soft. And I will say I do like the, how do you put it? Like when you wash them once, the Kate Quinn, they get a little bit like lived in look. Like it doesn't look right off the rack. Right? It looks like it's a little bit lived in by the baby. You know, it doesn't look like a showpiece outfit. You know, it looks like a real baby wore it, you know? But yet not to the point where it's like stained or used or stuff like that. It just has that little bit of, you know, worn in look, you know? So that's what I mean by the softness of it and how they get more, they just look a little better. They don't look right off the rack, you know, when you slapped it on the baby, you know? So here is the one in question. We'll start with that. Here is the one in question. The leopard or giraffe or whatever you want to say. Now, I was a little hesitant to even wash this one because I still wasn't sure if I was going to keep it. But it's growing on me. It's like, you know what? If the camel color was more yellowy, then I would say no, thank you. But because it's so muted and it's more like a tan camel color than a yellow, I kind of dig it. I like it. I think it's different. I do like the print. I'm going to call this a giraffe print because I met a giraffe in person. I hand fed a giraffe. One of the highlights of my life that I actually hand fed a giraffe. And I tell my kids the story all the time. They're like, oh, mom, big deal. You know, ew, you know, you let you let the giraffe lick your hand. That's nasty. You know, the whole thing. But I thought it was one of the coolest experience I've ever had. Okay, maybe then, I mean, you know, I haven't had that many best experiences in life. I've had more of the bad end. But that was definitely a highlight. Definitely. That and when I met President Clinton at the Mount Kisco movie theater in New York and shook his hand. And let me tell you, I was totally in shock when I met President Clinton. I was in shock. He came out of the theater with his daughter, Chelsea. And when I first walked in, I must have told you this a thousand times, this story, guys, but I'll just tell it briefly in case anybody's new here. We walked into the movie theater and I didn't think anything of it at first, really. At first, I thought more of there was a burglary going on or something because when you walk in the movie theater, there was like Men in Black, like that movie. Like when they are all in suits and they have the earpieces and the dark sunglasses. There was 5 on each side of the wall. just up against the wall. And I'm like, at first I thought it was like for maybe a movie promo or something, because I had no, when you're in the moment of something like that, it's so quick. It happens so quick, and you don't even realize at first like what's going on. So I was like, at first I was like, let's get out of here. I got nervous. I was like, let's leave. This is way before the kids, obviously. Let's leave. And so so we stayed in line. There was only like maybe 6 people in the line waiting to buy a movie ticket. And usually they'll let you go in early, right? You buy your ticket, you go sit down and wait for the movie to start. They were stopping people. They said you can't go in the theater, you can't buy the tickets until we clear out the movie from the previous movies, okay? Which was fucking odd. Like usually you could just go in. So I'm like, okay. And that's when I got even more nervous. I'm like, geez, what the hell's going on? As it's not really worth it for a movie, risk my life. So then we see 3 more men in black walking down the hallway, okay? And somebody in a suit in the middle, a guy and his daughter, and then, at first I didn't know who it was. And then it was, 3 more men in black behind them. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So as they move closer to the front, I was like, that's President Clinton. I was like, oh my God. I was cool. I was cool. I was cool about it. And so he was going around, and everybody that was in line waiting to get in the movie theater, he was going down and shaking everybody's hand. And when he got to me, I was so starstruck. I was like, I don't know what to say. I shook his hand and I was like, nice to meet you. He just smiled at me and I was like, wow. And I will say this, okay? I was in my 20s then. Okay. He was a good looking man. He for the gray hair and everything and the older, he was a good looking man. Okay. But anyway, I don't think I washed my hand for a week. I think I put a glove on. I was like, I'm not washing this hand. Of course he was like, oh, you're being ridiculous, wash your hand. I did though. I think I put a glove on for a while, but that only lasted till I had a shower. But it was definitely a very cool experience. And I think I was so giddy at that point. I was like, I was in my 20s. I met the president. I was like, oh, I felt like Monica Lewinsky. I'm just joking with you guys. I could have had my own line of handbags. But anyway, so just one of my experiences, because that was also a highlight. That's because I was telling you about the giraffe, the giraffe eating out of my hand. And then it went to shaking President Clinton's hand. But it was different hands. So I fed the giraffe with my left hand and I shook his hand with the right. But both great experiences with my hand. Oh my God. Oh man. Well, these are great these are great memories of my life. Anyway, back to the clothes. So, sorry guys. No, you know what? I'm not sorry. Sorry. Who says I'm sorry? I'm not sorry. Baby, I'm sorry. Demi Lovato. Not in a good singing voice today because I'm crackling and giggling. Crackling. Do you remember that cereal? Cracklin' Oat Bran. Do they still have that cereal out? My mom used to get that cereal all the time. And listen, you know why that cereal sticks in my brain so much, okay? Because you would need a whole gallon of milk. Because those things sucked up the milk so fast. By the time you started eating it, you have no milk in your bowl. And you're like, Ma, did you give me any milk? And, she'd be like, yeah, I gave you a whole cup of milk in there. And I said, where? It's gone. She's like, come on, Sandra, will you? I can't eat my cereal without milk. That, and she used to give us wheat germ. I hated it. Ugh. She's like, oh, it's good for you. You guys have to eat it. Wheat germ. Just the fucking name of that. Wheat germ. I'm sure it doesn't mean germs, but who the fuck wants to eat that? I mean, especially a kid. We hated it. We're like, she's like, oh, you don't know what my mother, your grandmother used to make me eat. You're lucky I don't make you eat liver and onions. And what else did she say? Raw eggs. My grandmother used to make them drink raw eggs, like just like Rocky, like straight up from the movie, just crack an egg in the fucking cup. I said, ew, did you actually drink it? She's like, well, yeah, I had to, or I would have got whipped. She said sometimes if I was lucky, she would turn her back and I would give it to the dog. I said, the dog would eat it? The dog would eat the raw egg, Ma? She said, well, sometimes he didn't know what it was. Yeah, she said anytime she got a chance. You know, because my grandfather loved going to Arthur Avenue and to the Pete's Meat Market, and he would buy, I don't know if it's Pete that sold it. I think it was a stand next to Pete, that they sold all like odd meat. So like parts of the cow and the pig that's not like a normal cut that you would find at your supermarket. So like, like tails and fucking feet and all kinds of, gross, like kidneys and brains and hearts and all kinds of shit like that. My grandfather loved to buy the head of the cow. Now, they called it something in Italian. I'm probably not going to say the name right, but I believe it's something like gabazelle. Something like that. I could be wrong, but I've heard it 1,000 times. So it's he would buy the whole cow head. And when you would go over there, my grandmother would cook it in the oven. So you would open it and you would see this fucking cow staring at you. Okay? Because it had the eyeballs in. And in fact, that was my grandfather's favorite part, was scooping out the eyeballs and eating it. And my mother said she could not stay at the table when he was eating that. I think that's, they still cook that even when I was like a toddler. They would cook that. And my mother said I couldn't stay there. I had to leave because she said the smell and everything, she said it was gross. Now, my mother used to make the pig skin. A lot of Italian people cook pig skin in the sauce. My mother used to make it delicious. I mean, she would buy the pig skin and put the grated cheese and garlic and fresh basil and all kinds of things, parsley, and roll it up and tie it and throw it in the sauce. It was so good. I liked it. It was good. I don't know if other people eat pig skin or whatever, but leave a comment below. I haven't had it since my mother made it. I don't make it. I wouldn't even know where to get. You'd have to go to an Italian specialty store is what I'm thinking. Okay. Then she used to do something nasty as hell that I remember coming home, and as soon as I would open the door from school into the house, I knew right away what she was making. And I was like, hell no, I'm fucking leaving. Because the house would fucking reek. So she used to like to make tripe. Now, if you don't know what tripe is, it is the lining of the cow's stomach. It's the lining of the cow's stomach. And she would make it, it's very tough. I never ate it. It's very tough, and you would have to boil it for hours. And then after that, she would put it into the sauce and cook it further in the sauce, okay, to make it, I guess it softens it up. And then she would take it out and chop it up into little squares, throw it back in the sauce, and then she would put it over macaroni. And the smell was, oh my God, forever in my brain. Forever. It was a horrible, horrible smell. And I just couldn't stay in the house when she was cooking that. I'm like, nope, I'm out of here. Tell me when it's over. Tell me when it's over, because I can't stay in here. But I don't know. I don't think the other kids ate it neither. I would never eat it, She made that mostly for her husband, for my stepfather, because he loved it, He also ate, I know, it's so nasty, I'm sorry, but now all these things are coming to me. he used to like to eat blood pies. So that was very popular as well back then. I think again maybe another Italian tradition. But it was either the blood of a cow or a pig, and they would actually make it into like pies. I don't know what else they put in there. Okay, but that's what they would call it. I'm sure it was something else in Italian that they would call it, because I can't imagine making that and bring it to the table and be like, okay, what's for dinner? Blood pie. I can't imagine that. My mother never made that. Okay, that was his mother. So her mother-in-law, she would make that for him. So that's why I'm saying I think that was more of an Italy thing. I think they did that in Italy, but she continued to make it even when they moved to the United States. So that was kind of like one of the things she made for her kids, I guess. I'm not sure, but nasty, very fucking nasty. Um, Look, I can't see it. I can't see. I don't even. Ugh. Um, One thing Nana did make that I absolutely loved was spaghetti pie. So she would make the spaghetti and then basically make it into a pie with eggs. So she would make it into an omelet. So basically she would get a big pan and kind of do a giant omelet with a bunch of eggs, and then she would fold in cooked spaghetti. I'm sure she put in other things, basil and salt and cheese and all that kind of stuff. And then she would fold it over before the egg was fully cooked, and then she would put it in a pie pan and put it in the oven for a few minutes, and it would all bake together. So it was a nice, somebody might do it and call it something else. We always know it as spaghetti pie. I'm sure again in Italian there's another word for it. But that was really good actually. And then you slice it like a pie, and you could see it was all spaghetti with egg, in it. It was really good. Um, so that was a good recipe, a good memory. Sorry you guys had to go through all those other yucky things, but I'm curious to know if anybody if anybody else has ever heard of this. Or or is it just my family, Cool, 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 cool. But please let me know. Let me know. Okay. So now we have this one, and I love this one. I think this is my favorite, I want to say, besides the other purple one. This has little dragonflies on it. So it's lavender and has the darker purple dragonflies. So I'm thinking of putting this one on my darling Danielle because it's a totally different color than what she's been wearing, so the purple. So I might do that. Since we're not going to do the gown for her because I want to really see if that fits on the new baby first, which I keep calling her Olivia. I keep calling her Olivia because I've had Olive, obviously, and this is just another form of that. And I always loved the name Olive, and I don't know. So I think Danielle and Olivia would go really cute together as sisters. Danielle and Olivia. The other option that I was thinking was Vivian, and I do love the name Vivian too. That was actually a name that was on my list if Danny was going to be a girl, Vivian. But I don't know. I have to see her. It may be a totally different name. Don't know. So maybe we'll go with the purple with that. Or this bright, because Jack's going to be in the aqua color, I think. So either this or this for Danielle. I don't know. We might try the purple. Okay, so one more Kate Quinn outfit. What are we at? 103. Okay. Now this was the bigger one, remember. So this I'm going to save for the new girl because I think that this will fit her. So, I think. So this is the peach color one. So they're going to look really cute. See, these will be their Easter outfits. And so that's why I think I'm going to go with the solid for Danielle. So if I have the new girl in this one, Danielle in this one, and Jack in this one, they'll be my little Easter bunny eggs. I think that would be so cute. So I think that's what we're aiming for today. And then the other ones will be for another time. And if that peach one is too big for her, then I'll just put her in this one, and then they'll still all match for Easter. So either way. And then if this is too big for her, then this is going to Maggie, because I tried this on Matilda and it just doesn't work for her body style. The Hempsteads have a different body type than the replicas. So I think that either Maggie or Morgan would fill this out a lot better. It would look a lot better since it's a fitted outfit. So we'll deal with that when the time comes. Now, okay, so that's it for the Kate Quinn stuff. So now the next stuff I'm going to show you is the stuff I got from Walmart. And in fact, I am waiting for one other one arriving today from Walmart, an outfit. Maybe it will come while we're on video and I could pause it and grab it and show you. If not, then I'll just show it on my next video. But that one is a 3-piece kind of side snap and then pants with a hat, and it's like white background, I believe, with blue flowers. But so this is the ones I have now. So remember, the love shirt that I put in that red shirt that says love on it, that's going in the giveaway box. So this is what I'm keeping from that outfit. So this is the 2-piece teddy bear set. Now this is in a 0 to 3. I might save this for Jack because his clothes are limited for the boys. Now see, like, okay, so this is what I was going to try to explain to you. I could kind of show you better on the other outfit. But the way that this washed is very different from the Kate Quinn stuff. They all wash together, but this is, you could see it's a lot more visibly has pulls in it. And it just, I mean, this washed okay, right? It didn't wash out the color, nothing like that. So it's okay, you know? But I do love this outfit. And I think it could be boy or girl, depends how you dress it up or down. But I think, like I said, I'm going to save this for Jack since he doesn't have a lot of clothes. Okay, so this one, and I kind of knew it. And I shouldn't have done it. But so with this Carter Slinky fabric, okay, they're saying this is, I'm trying to see if this is the same fabric as the Kate Quinn. So this is Lensing Viscose. Okay, so let me just look so I know what I'm talking about. So that's saying Model. If that's how you even say it, but that's how I say it. And then this is Lensing. So yeah, it's the same. It's supposed to be the same fabric, but I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. And maybe I'm being picky, like as usual, okay, with my doll clothes. But I loved this outfit. I loved it. But I knew that this type of color was gonna wash funny because I've had colors like this before. So you may not see it. I do. The color faded. The color faded big time. And what happens is with a lot of these type of colors, like I'm going to show you the other one too. When they fade like that, to me, they start to take on a dirty look, like a dirty appearance, like the outfit's dirty, like it needs to be washed. I don't know if you see that with this, but that's how I feel, that it started to look just like it doesn't look new anymore. This to me looks like something you would find, you know, thrifting or at a garage sale now, because just after one wash, it didn't even put it on a doll or nothing, but it has that look to it, at least for me. That's what I think. So I don't know if I'm even going to put this on anybody. I don't know. I mean, that would look cute together, but you could kind of, I don't know if you could tell what I mean, what I'm trying to say. It just washed too much. It was in the same batch, but it just goes to show you the different quality of items, how they wear differently. So we got two more outfits. So this one I was a little worried about too, because the light pink can start to look dirty as well. But thank God, I'm not upset with this one. This has the hat with it. This one washed better than I had thought it would. So that's the pink pants with the bunny feet and the fold over side. Now, technically with this one, I didn't even have to wash this one because of the color's light, but I wanted to wash it because the fabric softens up when you wash these. So this one I'm okay with. I don't think that this got damaged in any way. Like, this one is good. This one's good. So that's cute. That would be for the new girl because these outfits were supposed to be for her. I mean, I still might, I mean, look, I will probably try this and then you guys might see this in a for sale video later on down the line. I mean, I don't know, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, I don't know, just, or it may go to Maggie. I mean, maybe Maggie will fit into this. I don't know. Maggie, you want to try it? Imagine if she answered me. Then we'd all be in trouble, right? All right. So this is the last. So this is the other Carter's outfit, and I love this. And this didn't get ruined either. So this is the polka dot top with the purple little leggings, and then this birdie shirt, which I love. I really do. I love this shirt. It's different. It's something that I wouldn't usually pick, and I didn't know it had birds on it. I thought it was just flowers, is what I thought. That's how bad. I thought these were flowers, okay, when I seen it on the website. I was like, oh, that's pretty. It has like purple flowers with the leaves. I thought these birds were flowers. But this is really cute, and actually, I can't wait to put this on her. I think she's going to look adorable with this on. This might be one of her first outfits I try on, to be honest with you. I really love this. Before I put her in the her Easter outfit. Or she could wear, I mean, this is really cute. This is really cute. So this set, along with this pink set are for the new baby. They're both for the new girl. So we're going to save those for her. We're going to put those aside. I should be putting them in the drawer, and after the video I will be. But right now I just have them in my little laundry bucket in front of me. For the dolls, I have a separate laundry bin for my babies. I just use this thing here, my gold little bin, and I line it on the bottom with a dryer sheet to keep everything smelling good. And also a Ziploc is lined on the bottom because the interior of this is black, and I don't want to take any chances, so I have it lined with Ziploc so the clothes don't actually touch the black part of it. I know everybody's like, "You're nuts, Sandra. What the fuck is wrong with you? Nothing's good." And then, okay, so, and then this one is also for the new girl, this gown. So we're going to put that in there. So she has her little mini wardrobe already. And I know she's coming with a nice box opening from Anna. Hey, Alicia. I'll get back to you, honey. So that's going to be for the new girl. And then this is also going to be for her. Because I think I'm going to I don't know which one I should put on her. Okay, but we know that this one we're going to try on the new girl. So we'll put that in her little bucket of stuff. She has quite a few things already. We know that this one is a iffy. We know that. And then this is also another iffy. I mean, would you guys want me to put either of these in the giveaway boxes? Let's do a vote on that. Do you like this Kate Quinn giraffe or the floral? They're both kind of the same fabric. They're both soft and slinky. Or the Carter's floral. I don't know if either one's going in, both are going in, maybe one or the other. I don't know. But I'm just curious to know if any of you would be interested in one of these or both or anything like that. So these are not for sure in any of the boxes yet, but I'd like to know if anybody would be interested if I did put them in the boxes. Because I don't want to send stuff that people don't want either, you know. And this, I mean, you know, like this Kate Quinn one, I mean, I could put that on Mercari if I had to. But, you know, I'd rather stay away from Mercari. Their fees are crazy, guys. So we're going to put these two in with her box for now because we're not using those. And then this teddy bear outfit we're saving for Jack, but he's not going to wear this now. Or should we put this on him now and then change him for Easter later? Or we could leave this for his after Easter outfit. I don't know. I mean, this teddy bear has a scarf on it, but I could put this on him year round, right? I mean, it's not like a fleece sleeper or anything. It's just a long sleeve onesie and cotton pants. I mean, it's not like, So maybe we'll save that. We'll put the... Okay, guys. So now the vote is... Put this here. So we know we're going to put this on Jack, right? We're going to put this aqua one on him. He's going to look so cute in that. And then one of these is going on Danielle. Let me bring Danielle up here and we could kind of just do a vote. Well, I mean, it's going to be my vote. But, And I have purple headbands galore. I think I have more purple headbands than anything else. Right, come on, girl. Oh, this girl, she's so heavy. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. She's a heavy baby. Now, she's a heavy baby. She's 7 pounds, something ounces. My new baby is over 10 pounds, guys. Over 10 pounds. I don't know how I'm going to lift that baby. But let's see what looks better on you, honey. You want to do this one? She has the nice, I love how Anna does, the eyelids are just slightly pinkish purple. Not so, out there, because I've seen really bad. But see, it just complements her face. So I don't know. Do we go with this one? That's really pretty. That and I have a purple. I don't know if I have such a purple color like this. I'm going to have to look. Or do we go with this one? I think the darker one, right? I think the darker purple. Let's go with the darker purple. Let me find her headband, because I know... Oh, my baby. I would kiss you, but I can't. I can't kiss you. Let me find the headband. Okay, so now that we know those are going on them, we could put this away. She had a green headband on. I am going to pause you guys quickly because I have to piss so bad. Sorry I had to announce that, but I have to go so bad. All this coffee. And then we're going to come back. I'm going to find the purple headband so it's a lot easier, okay? And maybe mitts. They might need mittens or I'll fold these over. Because the arms tend to be short on these. And I don't want them to look like they're being pulled on. So I'm going to pause you and then I'm going to come back with the headband, mittens, everything we need to dress these two into their new outfits. We'll dress them, have a little more chat and change. And then we'll get to the giveaway stuff and we'll kind of, go through that. So not too bad. We're not even at an hour and a half. So usually, I guess we're going to have a regular 2-hour video today. Or maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. So let me do that and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So it seemed like a second for you guys, right? So I found some headbands. And while I was up, I said, you know what? Let me just check outside my door. Because sometimes if they hear me talking... they won't knock. Not only that, let me tell you. So, not only that, but we had to take the sign off our door. Remember, I had made a sign for my door that says, deliveries, please knock hard. Because a lot of times if we're doing something else or we're doing laundry all the way in the back in the bathroom or whatever, and I'm here by myself or whatever, it doesn't matter. They'll just leave it. And then we were getting packages stolen. So I had put a sign on my door that says, deliveries, please knock hard. So we got a notice from management saying that we must remove all signs off the front doors. Not just us, everybody. But come on. A sign that says deliveries knock hard. I mean, what the fuck? I guess management finds it, I don't know, not neat. But I mean, it was just a white piece of paper that, that had black writing on it that literally said, deliveries, please knock hard. I mean, but anyway, so no, we had to take that off. So I said to myself, let me just check. And sure enough, I have a Walmart package. So it's not the baby, but it's the other outfit that I wanted to show you guys. So let's just open that first before we dress the kids, okay? The babies. The kids, the babies, whatever. Forget about it. I'm definitely happy here with you guys today, you know, that I'm in a better kind of, just, I don't know, just a better mood right now, you know, and that's okay. Like, for a while there, I was like, you know, beating myself up, being like, okay, you can't be happy if this is happening with your own kid. You can't be happy, you know, of where he is. But the point is, I'm not happy that he's there. I'm not happy that he's going through this, or that I'm going through this, or that anybody here is going through this. But I'm allowed to have happy times with my dolls. I'm allowed to be okay and not have to be sad all the time. You know, I have to have, you know, these other things in my life. I can't just constantly be, you know, torn down about it. And, you know, but that doesn't mean that I care any less. And so I was struggling with that, thinking, okay, should I even be doing videos right now? Should I even be on here right now? And some people will say no. Some people will say, yeah, sure, it's okay, it's fine. But I guess what really matters is my thoughts, right? My opinions. I'm the one doing the video. You know, do I feel up to doing the video? Do I want to do the video? Do I even want to be here? And the answer is yes. You know, I'm allowed that. You know, I'm allowed that time for me and to be here and be doing something that makes me happy and that I enjoy. So I had to just stop myself from thinking that in that way, because one has nothing to do with the other, you know. And this, and what you guys are getting is just roughly about 2 hours of my time today. So if, you know, if I'm happy for 2 hours out of the day, and not having to think about all these other things, then that's a good thing, you know. But anyway, so let's open the package. Okay, so I'm very excited about this. So I have it right here. So here it is. So this was one of the outfits. This actually came all the way from Texas, I believe. A warehouse over there. Did it come from Texas? Does it say? Indiana, Greenfield, Indiana. So this was one of those $5 outfits when they refunded my perfume money to my Walmart balance. So I got a few outfits for the new girl. Okay, let's just make sure that there's nothing else in there. Okay. Oh, this is pretty. Let's take it out of the plastic first. But I like that. So is this child in line? Huh. Or is this just regular Carter's? Because it comes in like this bag, but it's from Walmart. But I never seen them have just like a Carter's bag like that. But you never know. Let's see. Let's open it and see. But it's a really pretty print. Now this I knew was flowers. I didn't think it was birds or anything. This I knew was flowers. Silly Sandra. Oh, the hat is really pretty on this. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so it is child in mine. But it's really, oh my God, this is beautiful. I think this is my favorite one for her. And you know, with the pink, you know, it's always like the basic colors for the girls, pink and purple. You don't really, you know, think to put a girl in blue. But this is pretty because it has real like girly accents to it. So let's look at it. So it's a 3-piece set. So look at this. This is the one I was just telling you guys about. Look at this hat. Isn't that so pretty, guys? So the print of this is a white background, and then it has these really pretty blue. Are these hydrangeas? I'm not a plant girl. I don't know my flowers. The only ones I really know are carnations, lilies, and roses. Other than that, I might know like, you know, a chrysanthemum. I don't know. But what are these, guys? I think it's a hydrangea. Or my mother used to plant azaleas all over the lawn. Her azalea plants. She had them all lined in the front of the walkway to the house. I don't know what I mean. She was out there with the plants and watering and picking them, and and you know, she had the big we had the Mother Mary statue. So the walkway to the house, so it was from the garage to the house, there was a walkway, and then on one side was the yard, the lawn, and on the other side that was closest to the house, they actually redid all the stonework when they first moved in for the bottom of the house. and they did little gravel rocks that filled in that part in front of the house. So within that, she built her little garden of like, I don't know, 10 azalea plants. And then she had the big statue of Mother Mary in between the azaleas. It was beautiful. But trying to like play in the yard and run around, and then like if you're playing tag or something like that, I remember so many times I was barefoot because we would play outside barefoot. I remember so many times running away from my brother, and I would have no choice but to run over those little gravel pellets on the you know, walkway. Oh my God, my feet. Oh my God, how many times I cut up my feet. Terrible, terrible. But yeah, that was her little, she loved it. She loved it out there. My mother loved to garden with the flowers. She had a lot of other kind of flowers too, because we had like this little stone patio kind of in between the house and the garage that they eventually fenced in with a wooden fence and like a door. But that was where we would usually play like our pogo ball and skip it and, sidewalk chalk. And that was like our little kind of play area because everything else was like the lawn, and then we had the stream in the back with the garden and the pool, and the front yard was all lawn with big, big pine trees. So we couldn't really use any of that stuff anywhere else except that little between area. But me and my sister, we had a lot of fun there. And I remember Kid's sister and my buddy we used to play with over there. But yeah, the gravel was crazy. But anyway, so that's what brought me to this. Are these azaleas? Are they azaleas? Are they? I think I might have been right the first time around with the hydrangeas. I think. I don't know. But anyway, so it has this really pretty, it's a fold over kind of hat, and it's lined. And then it has this really pretty white bow to one side of the hat. And then you have this beautiful side snap shirt. Yeah, they do have snaps. So it's a side snap shirt. And then it has the pretty white bow over one of the snaps. Really pretty. And the print, again, all throughout is that blue, like a periwinkle blue. And then it has like the brown branches that the flowers are attached to. That is really, really pretty. I love the color mix of this too. Very pretty. So it has the side snaps and what else? The sleeve. There's no mitts on these sleeves. Really, really pretty though. And then the pants have the same print. I love that on the ankle. Look at that. On the ankle part, they did another little bow detail. Really pretty. I like that detail. That's really nice. That makes it extra special. And so, see, now this, I would wonder, should I wash this? Now, it would obviously become softer and not as stiff. But also, it would look a little more like not off the hanger. Because, I mean, let's face it, with the real babies, I mean, I know I used to wash everything before putting it even near one of my babies. I mean, blankets, clothes, everything, sheets, everything that you would get for a baby. I would never put them in a brand new outfit right off the hanger. I mean, I don't know if anybody did that, but not me. My mother probably did that. Oh my God. I remember my mother, she used to crack me up because, when we were younger, she would always tell me, okay, when she was here after I had Danny, right? She told me this with Jack too, because she was around in New York then. But after I had Danny, she had come and stay with us for a while. And she used to crack me up because she would say, because I would put an outfit on him. And then she would say, Sandra, wait, was that a new outfit or did you wash it? I'm like, Mom, I washed everything before I put on. She's like, are you sure? Because even if you washed it, because he would start, like if he started fussing, and she couldn't calm him down, or like after he had a bottle, he would have gas, but he would start crying. But she would blame the outfit because she would say, are you sure that he's not crying because there was pins in his outfit? Pins left in the outfit. She used to crack me the fuck up because, okay, for anybody that doesn't know, when we were younger, okay, so in, I would say 70s, right? In the 70s or even 80s, they used to, how they would hold a lot of the clothing together for babies and kids, I'm guessing. Um, they used to pin, so if it was a two-piece like this, right? They would take little pins, like with the balls at the end. They would take little pins, like sewing pins, I would say, like when you're pinning a dress before you sew it. So they would take the pins, piece it together. So no hanger shit, not like this. They would piece it together and put the pins through, with like tissue paper maybe in between, especially on fancier outfits, I think. But they would always do the pins on each side, the pins, and then if it had the hat, they would pin it, pin it. There was none of this plastic shit. It was, you pinned it. So that's why it's funny because so when we were little, she would always have to make sure, kind of like we make sure that there's none of this. You would take out all the plastic from the tags, make sure everything is cut off before you put it on the baby. She would always make sure our outfits had all the pins taken out of it. So every time Jack would start crying, "Hey, Alicia, wow, you're posting a lot today, Alicia. What's up? What are you doing there, girl?" I'm going to have to check it out after this. So when she, with Jack, when he was little, and if he would start fussing, because Jack had a lot of gas. We had to keep switching formulas with him. Eventually, because he couldn't hold things down at one point. So eventually we had to switch him to a rice cereal, that had, not cereal. I never put cereal in my baby's bottles. I never did that. My mother would always tell us to do that. Just put cereal in the bottle. It'll hold them longer. Just put cereal in the bottle. And the doctor said, don't do that. But we switched to Enfamil starch, I think it was, with added starch, something like that. So it was a heavier formula that would, But my mother's like, "Oh, throw cereal." I said, "No, I'm not doing that. Maybe that was back then. Okay, that's what you did. But I'm not doing that with my kids, okay?" Besides that, he's already 10 pounds at, a week old. So no. But anyway. So she used to make me laugh because she would always say, if the baby's fussing, "Oh, did you check the clothing for pins? Did you check the clothing for pins? Did you make sure that there's no pins in the clothes?" I'm like, "Mom, chill the fuck out, okay? First of all, they don't even make them like that anymore, okay? We're not in that 70s show, all right?" So no pins here. But it was cute. It was cute the way she said it, to make sure that he was okay, check his clothes. I'm like, anyway, it's just a memory of mom, And I did, while I was looking through paperwork, mounds of paperwork, I was trying to find some documents from when Ethan had went to the previous doctors and counselors and groups and all that stuff. So I had to look for a bunch of paperwork. And while I was looking through my bundle of paperwork, of course, I had to come across my mother's death certificate. And I don't know why I opened it. I opened the envelopes and I started reading. And I'm like, maybe I missed something the first time around. Because when I looked at them, when she first got here and I looked at the papers, I was still in shock, and maybe I missed something. So, of course, torturing myself again as if I needed more torturing. I looked through the paperwork and it actually says under cause of death, unknown. But then it says natural underneath that. But that's right next to it says no autopsy. So I kick myself all the time because if I had the money, I would have done the autopsy just to make sure because I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I would have done it. It was an extra $1,200. And I had already my cousin, my cousin from Rhode Island, he actually gave me the money so that I was able to cremate my mom. Because otherwise she would have just went, I don't know where, because nobody had the money to pay for it. But I was thankful and grateful and lucky enough that my cousin did that for her because they were close when they were younger. And I was talking to him throughout the whole process. And even before she passed away, she would call him and kind of confide in him with some things about my sister and other things. So he kind of knew what was going on. Anyway, so he did that for me. Thank God. Thank God. And we text occasionally once a year about, and in fact I should text him. But Merry Christmas, Happy Easter, that kind of thing. And he just had a beautiful house built in Rhode Island, like a freaking mansion. But he worked hard for it, and he totally deserves it. So him and his husband live in this beautiful mansion. He showed me the interior because I guess his husband is an interior designer, I'm guessing. Beautiful work. Simple, but elegant, and like you could tell it's just so, I don't want to say rich looking, but like nice. It's nice. And yeah, but anyway, so thank God he helped me out to bring my mother here. So anyway, I was looking at the death certificate, and she actually died on August 6th. And I wasn't sure about that date until I had just seen it, because I always assumed it was early September for some reason. But it was actually, so she passed away actually 2 days before Ethan's birthday. And my mother-in-law passed away a week after Ethan was born. So Ethan is right in the middle. His birthday, he was born right in the middle of when my mother-in-law died and my mother died. And I found that to be really unique, if that's the right word. But anyway, so I don't even think it was a full week after he was born, because I was in the hospital for 3 days. And then as soon as I was released, I think it was the next day, we went to see her. And I remember they wouldn't let the baby up. He was only a few days old. They wouldn't let him up. And they got me a wheelchair because I was like, I had just had a C-section. And I was bleeding extremely heavy. And it was hard for me to walk. And the way to get to her room, or the elevator to get to her room, you had to walk down this big long hallway with twists and turns. And they got me a wheelchair and wheeled me back to the lobby with Ethan in his car seat. They said, you can't go up there. You can't go up there. They said, you're in no condition to go up there anyway. I said, my mother-in-law's dying. She's on dialysis every day at that point. And she got so bad that, like, I remember the last time I seen her, they weren't even cleaning her or anything. And I cleaned her while I was there, because she literally had like a toilet right next to her bed, and her nails weren't cut. Like, her nails were so super long, and you can tell that she had like, poo under her nails. And she looked horrible. They didn't even brush her hair, nothing. So I got washcloths. I washed around her neck. I did the best I could, and got all that out of her fingernails. And it was horrible. It was horrible how they just left her. They left her there. They would wheel her to dialysis, bring her back. She didn't even know where the fuck she was at that point. I think they were pumping her up with morphine. And I mean, I know she was in pain, but like, she didn't even hardly recognize me when I went. And that's when I was pregnant with Ethan still. And then, but I was like just about to have him. It was a scheduled C-section. And then, that was the last time I seen my mother-in-law. And then, yeah, they wouldn't let me up, but Jason went up. And then, we got the phone call the next day that she died, with my father-in-law next to her, at least, he was there. But, and that's when, and then after that, after she died, I ended up having to go back into the hospital a week after she died, because of my botched C-section. So I had to go back in the hospital, leave my newborn and my toddler with Jason, and Jason couldn't go to his own mother's funeral because it was down in Long Island, and we were in Hyde Park at the time. So he couldn't even go to his own mother's funeral because of where they were holding it. And I think the reason they were holding it there is because her sister was paying for it. So she picked where, because that's where their mother is. Their mother was buried. So she was buried down there next to her mother. At least she was, next to her mother, but they made it so far away that, So I was in the hospital. We didn't know what was happening with me. I could have been dead. I had drains and tubes hanging out of me, and his mother's funeral, he couldn't go. He had the baby there. Um, and that's another thing, like, I think of too, is that Jason Jason got a chance to form that bond with Ethan the first couple weeks of his life. Because he was the only one taking care of him. I wasn't there. I was in the hospital. So I was only with Ethan for maybe the first 5 days, I would say. Sounds about right. 5 to 7 days of his life. Wait, 8. I went back into the hospital. I waited because Jack's birthday is the 20th. And Ethan was born on the 8th. So I didn't know I actually had any problem. Like, I would have died because I didn't even know. I thought it was just C-section pain. I waited. I said, my legs were so big, like an elephant. Even the bottoms, nothing compared to, like, they were huge. From the bottom to the top, like elephant. I couldn't barely walk. But I kept crying. I said, I'm staying here for Jack's birthday. He was turning 3. I said, I'm staying here for Jack's birthday. I'm not going to the hospital until it's Jack's birthday. And we had his party. We made cupcakes. It wasn't much of a party, a couple people, but they seen me and they were like, you better go to the hospital. You better go to the hospital. And I went the next morning is when I went, on the 21st. So he was born on the 8th. We probably stayed there till the 11th. Right. And then came out. So I was with Ethan like 8 days out of the hospital. So about a week. And then I went back in the hospital, and I was in the hospital for 12 days. So for those 12 days, I think they came to visit me twice out of those 12 days, and I held Ethan for a few minutes, not even, because they didn't want the baby up, but because he was just born, because he was so little, they allowed it, for bonding with me, but it was just such a short amount of time. So I feel in a way that that's kind of why Jason is like close to Ethan in that sense, because he was with him so young and took care of him by himself for basically 2 weeks, the first, month of his life. So, I think that's, another reason, but, and it's unfair because I miss that. You can't get time back. You can't get it back. And I miss those 12 days with my baby. And it's so hard to think of. I should have sued that hospital, to be honest with you. I missed my baby. I can never get that back. Because of their negligence. Because they did something to me during that C-section that they shouldn't have. And I should have sued them, but I wasn't in the right frame of mind then. There were so many other things going on. We were being evicted too. Because at the time we were waiting for our disability, and his dad was paying the rent. His dad was staying with us on and off because my mother-in-law was in a nursing home nearby. So we gave him one of the bedrooms there. He was paying the rent. And we were waiting, like I said, and then we were both, thank God, we were both approved. And but it took a little time. So we were in the process of the lights being shut. We were being evicted. His mother just died. I was in the hospital not knowing what was going to happen to me. We had a newborn, a 3-year-old. It was just a lot of shit, guys. It was a lot of just fucking shit. And that's when all my stuff went into storage. I'm not even going to start with that because all my stuff went into storage, and he agreed, my father-in-law agreed he was going to pay for it until we were able to. Okay. Which because I was in the hospital. I didn't even know what was going on. Him and Jason moved everything to the storage unit, and I just thought it was being taken care of. Um, all my stuff in that storage unit, when I tell you, I had a room full, wall to wall, of standing masterpiece dolls. And I know a lot of you might be saying, "Well, Sandra, you're going to be complaining about lost dolls now. Like, that's so, little in comparison to you losing time with your infant child." I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying that it was one thing after the other. And I had so many dolls. I had thousands of dollars of dolls that I want to say this too, though, that were purchased before we even moved into this apartment. So those dolls were purchased when Jason was working at Con Edison, and they were all purchased from him working there. Um, so those were dolls I already had, and when we moved, I had all those dolls already. So nothing was bought like, while we were waiting for disability or anything like that, nothing like that. Those were already purchased. But anyway, not that I need to explain anything, but, for people that are watching, I'm trying to have you follow correctly instead of thinking. Anyway, so I had wall to wall standing masterpiece dolls. Okay, I had Cinderella, Snow White, all the fairy tale ones. I had some rare ones from Germany. I had two Reborn Welcome Home Emily's with rooted hair. I had three one of a kind clay sculpture babies. Beautiful. Okay. I had a couple of resin ones. These are like newborn babies that people were doing one of a kinds. Um, I had Lee Middleton's, Ruth Trifison, I think that's how you say her name. I had two Hempsteads left. I had a whole dresser full of oh my god, what are those called? Bridget Lehman, Zap, just a bunch of different dolls, okay? Um that were all put in storage. And then I was told, okay, thinking, okay, because I was told this, that it would be taken care of. And then a couple months down the road, my father-in-law came to visit us where we were staying, and he pulled Jason aside. He's like, "I got some bad news." And I knew something was up, because usually he'll just, he wouldn't pull Jason aside for anything. And he was with his new girlfriend, because at the time, this was a couple months later, my mother-in-law had passed and everything. Um, and he was with his new girlfriend, and I couldn't stand her face. And she came with him. She was so snooty too. And he was like, Jason came over. He's like, "Listen, I got to talk to you." And he told me. And I was like, what the fuck? They brought over, okay, a bicycle for Jack, or no, a scooter and a bicycle for the kids. I don't know, who for what or whatever. To kind of like, I don't know if it was to make up for the lost shit or what, but it was the first time I ever went off on my father-in-law. And I went off on the bitch too, because she was like, "Oh, well, you should have paid your own storage unit and not be, taking advantage of your father-in-law." I said, "Bitch, shut the fuck up. You don't know me and my relationship with my in-laws, and you will never replace my mother-in-law. She was a fucking angel. Okay, so shut your fucking mouth." I was so pissed after they told me about that. Okay. I said, "You didn't give me any heads up. You knew exactly what was going on. Maybe if you had told us, we'd be able to pay it or take the shit out of it before they close it up or auction it off." I was so mad. And I said, "And you think by bringing my kids a bike and a scooter, that's going to fucking make up for all that stuff that I had in there?" I had all my pictures, my baby pictures were gone of me and my mother. Well, that's all I had left, was whatever she had given me. And she asked me, she's like, "Sandra, where are all those pictures?" I was like, "Well, they're lost. They're done." She was so mad, my mother, when she found out about that. All my baby pictures, Jason's baby pictures, all the baby pictures that I had of Jack and Ethan, everything was lost. All my paperwork, birth certificate, I had everything in there. And the bitch was acting like it was no big deal. She says, you should be grateful that we brought over the scooter and the bike for your kids. I said, you know what? And I took the kids off of them. And I said, I brought them right to her. I said, I don't want your fucking gifts. Take them back and leave. Goodbye. Okay? And you're not seeing my kids no more. Bye. I said that to the bitch, not my father-in-law. Of course, I'm not going to keep the kids from him. But Jesus Christ. So anytime he came to visit was without her. She was not allowed near me. Okay? She was acting very snooty and like who the fuck do you think you are? My mother-in-law just died like a couple months ago. Like, what the fuck? And he found her on like some kind of dating site or some shit, like a match.com or something. Like hello, like why? And he said he just needed to move on. Like, I understand he's old and he needed like a companion or whatever, but come on. Like, you can't expect somebody to replace, your wife of fucking 50 years or whatever the fuck, a long time they were married. Like, no thanks. So yeah. So that was my storage unit fucking story. And it's just a shame because like it could have been avoided had I known. That was the whole thing. I wasn't pissed that like he needed to keep paying it. It was that he kept it secret and he didn't tell me till it was too late. If he had said to Jason or to me for that matter, look, I got a notice, whatever, you're going to have to pay it because I can't pay it, then it would have been our fault. Then it would have been up to us to say, okay, we can't pay it, fuck it, whatever, then you can't get mad, right? But because he told us it would be taken care of because we had so many other things to worry about at the time, that's why I was pissed, and I just wish that I would have known, that wasn't fair. But you know what? I have to believe that it was for a reason, right? It happened for a reason. I guess, I wouldn't have been able to bring them all here anyway, right? Couldn't have brought all that stuff on a train, And I look at what I have now, look around at what I have now and I'm rebuilding, slowly. And, I've experienced so many dolls. Throughout my entire doll collecting years and also, here. But I think it was just the timing too. It was the timing of everything. And it just felt like it was never going to end. It felt like there was no end in sight. It felt like I couldn't, I felt like up till that point, like the first 2 years of Jack's life was pure like happiness and joy and just living life, with a baby and going shopping. I used to be at Babies R Us every day. And, Jason would go to work and I would go out with my mother-in-law and to the park, and to the stores, and we would do things, go shopping, go to the hot dog truck, just everywhere, with Jack. And so I have to say the first 2 years of Jack's life was my absolute best time of my life ever. From the moment I found out I was pregnant with him up till this happened to me, in the hospital when I was having Ethan. And those, I would say, no, I don't want to say, I had a bad pregnancy with Ethan. I was sick every day, bad, like all day sickness. Like I would have to keep crackers above my pillow because I would have to eat at least a half a sleeve of crackers before I could even lift my head. Even if I had to go pee so bad in the morning, I could not move. If I did, I would throw up everywhere. Like it was bad. And it wasn't just throwing up. It was just like a constant nausea, sickness, and like you couldn't eat, you couldn't sleep, you couldn't lay, you couldn't sit. It was just terrible. And that lasted for the first, I would say, 6 months of my pregnancy. Really, really bad. Then I kind of caught a break the last few months before it all started again. So, yeah. First 2 years with Jack was absolutely the best time of my life ever. But the show must go on, right? And then Danny was a total surprise. Danny was a shocker. Okay. totally unexpected, Danny. I really didn't think I was going to have any more kids. Did not think. And when I found out with Danny, I was surprised. I was like, okay, it's my girl now. God wanted me to have a girl. So he gave me a girl now. And I just knew it was another boy. I could just feel it. I'm like, nah, I ain't that lucky. It's gonna it's gonna be another boy. Um, but I was just happy that he was healthy because at first, the first ultrasound, they said they spotted like a heart defect, where a certain valve or something wasn't closing when it should have already. So they were thinking if that was the case, they were going to have to operate immediately when he came out, um, to close that up because that couldn't stay open. Um, but thank God with the next ultrasounds, it showed that it was closing. And then the last one, it was completely closed. So we didn't have to worry about that. Thank God, right? And when Danny was born, he was the only one born here in Washington. My other two were New York. So it was the first time I had a C-section here, and boy, was it different. It was completely different. I don't know if because I was much older, or what have you, but they do it differently here. In New York, they drug you up. They drug you up so that you're aware, you're awake, but you're like woozy, you're so that you're not like nervous and all that kind of shit. But okay. Um Here they just numb you up. And never mind what's going on up top the curtain. Never mind what's going on up here. They're all about just numbing down there, taking the baby out, boom, 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 you're done, goodbye. So I got extremely sick when I was laying on the table. I threw up. I was like, I gotta throw up. And they're like, just taking the baby out. I'm like, I'm throwing up all over Jason on the side. It was gross. Um, and all I remember the doctor saying was, as he was cutting me open to get Danny out, and you smell that burning smell from the laser cut thing they're using, the cauterizer or whatever. You smell the burning flesh. Ugh. And Jason's like, that's the worst part. He's like, I'll always remember that. He said it was so gross. He never looked at them taking the babies out. I was like, why didn't you look? I would have looked. Why didn't you look? So when they were taking Danny out before they got him out, the doctor was like, oh my gosh, you have so much scar tissue. I bet. I bet, after what I went through, but they got Danny out. He was a tinier baby like Ethan. He was tiny. He came out full on crying. He was not happy. He was not happy. And they held him up over the thing. And Jason's like, he scared me because he was like full on crying. And Danny was a very, very hairy baby. He had hair all over his forehead, his face, his neck, his back, everything. He looked like a little monkey. He did. I tell him that till this day. And he's like, I know, I was a little monkey. He still has all that little baby hairs all over down his neck, his back, everything. But anyway, so yeah, those were my kids' birth stories, I guess, again. But yeah, Danny was I think Danny was kind of meant to, I guess, keep me going. I guess in a way, keep me young, keep me going, I don't know. But I don't know. It's hard. It's freaking hard. It's like you wish that, or I wish that, I could do a rewind. I mean, I think everybody may wish that at some point. I wish that I could go back to the day Jack was born. And I always said that if I could go back, like Jason asked me that, I think one time, if there was like a time machine and you could go back in time and pick a day and start your life over from that day, what would you pick? And it's always the same. It's always the day Jack was born. That is the day I would go back to. And, a lot of people say they wouldn't go back. They wouldn't change anything. I guess that would be a hard decision, especially knowing that like that's the day you pick, and then so that means anything that you have now is kind of erased, which I don't want to say erased, but I mean if you could, like that's why I asked him like, well, would you remember the current time, or would you just not remember? You would just be put back to that day and not realize you had a future. You know what I mean? Because that would kind of make a difference. I mean, if you remember all this, then of course, no, I couldn't do that. How could I do that if you're going to remember everything? So I think it would be different if you didn't, and who knows? I mean, a lot of people believe that we've had lives before this one, that we've lived different lives before. So what would be the difference? I mean, it's kind of the same idea, right? Is that you don't remember any of this. You're put back in a time and space where none of this even existed yet. So I don't know, it's just some thought, But anyway, let's get back to the outfit because I went from what did I go from hydrangeas and azalea plants to Mother Mary statues, gravel on my feet, all the way to cooking cows' heads and, and all my birth stories. Jeez. Oh, Maron, I really gave you. It's already 2 hours. We didn't dress the babies yet. We're going to dress them right now. Let's dress them because I can't make this longer than 2.5 hours. That's ridiculous. I mean, I know some people will watch it, but a lot of people won't. And, anyway, this is, I'm happy, I'm happy I'm doing this. So anyway, this outfit is gorgeous no matter what, plant it is. And I'm not decided yet if I'm going to wash this or not. We'll see. But that's another really pretty outfit. You don't usually, like I said, think about dressing the babies. You know what? This doesn't smell. See, usually I have, that's why I wash the other ones. Because you get like that. I don't like that dirty warehouse odor on the outfits. This one doesn't have it. And I think it's because that was wrapped in plastic. And the other ones I got were just thrown in the bag, I think. I don't think they were wrapped in plastic. So that's good. Anyway, let's dress them. You know what I do want to try? You know what I'm thinking? I know you guys are probably like, Sandra, whatever you're thinking, just do it. Just dress the babies already. I want to try this on Danielle. Because just for size purposes. Because it does have the zipper. So let's try this on her first. Who knows? It might look really good on her. I don't know. But I do have her purple one. And I found a little purple hair bow. So if this doesn't look right, then we'll put the purple. And you know what? Let's address Jack first so we can get him out of the way because we already know he's definitely going in this. So let's get Jack up here. Come on, you. Let's go. Come on, you're going to get dressed. And there's Jack. And this is the moment that I would go back to. I don't know. I feel like a lot of my time with Jack when he was little, like I said, from when Ethan was born, like maybe a lot, I feel like a lot of time was lost with Jack as a toddler because I was too busy, focused on things that were happening, around that time. And so it kind of got lost, So it's difficult. It's really difficult to think of. And now he's going to be 18. He's going to be 18. He lives in his room. And, I mean, he's going to be graduating soon. So that's amazing. It's amazing because it'll be the first one to graduate in the family. So that's amazing. I was about to put this on him. Look at this. That would have been pretty funny when maybe I should have continued talking. So, usually with these, I don't unsnap everything. I just put it from, the feet in through the top, and that's it. Sometimes, it depends on the fabric too, because you don't want to stretch the neck area either. So that's, you got to just be careful. Notice I got a purple string in here. Okay. So, you just got to be careful when you're putting the feet in. I hope I put the foot in right. What am I doing? Here's the foot. Have you guys, okay, so I started a new Netflix series, and I know it may be, I seen it, and I think it's also a book, because it's, when they showed, like, the series, then it says, by this person, like, the film is by this person. I think that means it's in book form as well, I think. I'm not a reader, so I don't know. So, Christina, you got to tell me. So I came across this new Netflix series day before yesterday. And I think Jack needs a new diaper at this point, but we'll leave it for now. On his next change, he's going to need a new diaper. Um, the series is called The Runaway, and it's on Netflix, and it's getting good. Like, I think I'm on the 5th episode, I think. There's like 8, I think. I have 3 left. It's a lot of twists and turns. If you like a psychological thriller, I would call it. Kind of like a lot of different clues, and then you guess something, and what you're guessing is like totally off. It's definitely not what you're thinking, but they make it seem that way, and then you're like, shit, like what is going to happen? It's a very, very good series. I would recommend it. So I don't know what's going to happen, but maybe I'll finish that tonight. While Danny's doing his bebopping with his finger exercise on the keyboard. Okay, so this looks really, really cute on him, like I thought it would. We got to fix the neckline a little bit better, but I'll do that when he's like in the crib. Let me see. Now, I don't know. I want to see if I should. Oh, so cute. Let mommy pull these. See, and there's still room in this one. This is newborn. I'm surprised because it's probably just the difference in the fabric that makes this one a little bit more stretchy. Now let me see these sleeves. Sorry, you're getting a glimpse of the back of my hair here. I think the sleeves are okay to fold over. But, I mean, I could put... Here, I'll get you guys your opinion. So, here he's... Look at him. It's so cute. I love this color on him. So, see how cute and cuddly? I love these outfits. So, I did the fold over on this side with the mitten. Or do you guys think I should put the white mitten back on? Let's see how that looks. This is twisted. This has got to be like that. Okay. Yeah, I can't stand when the sleeves or the pants or anything gets twisted on a cuddle baby. It annoys the hell out of me. Like the lines have to line up correctly with his arm, Can't be twisted. Okay, so let's put the tag in here. All right, come here, buddy. Let's see how you look. I know I have a pasty somewhere to match this. Oh, see, I think with the mitt, that's my opinion. Because you know why? I think it breaks it up a little bit to make it look more realistic, I think. What do you guys think? This, to me, you see the sleeve on for some reason, the Kate Quinn sleeve always seems short to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this looks more like a real hand, right? This side. This cuts it off weird, right? I think this one looks more realistic. So I think we'll go with that. We'll go with the mitt. Thank you guys for sticking around today, if you're still here. We're not going to be able to do the giveaway stuff in this video, guys. I talked way too much. We'll save that for the next video or another day, whatever. Tomorrow, maybe I'll do that. Because, I don't know if Jason's going out tomorrow. Yeah, I think he is. Because I like to come on here when I'm home alone, gives me something to do, somebody to talk to, somebody to hang with, instead of just, cleaning all day long or something. All right, so yeah, I think that this color looks nice on him, right? Look at him. Now, he does have the style cuddle body that Anna used to do for me. So he has like a pin tuck, not an actual pin, but it's sewn. His knees are sewn to make him be able to pose better, like on his belly, like that. And when he's sitting, you see how that looks more realistic? So when he's sitting in the seat, the car seat or whatever, and you bend his knees like that, it just looks more realistic because you have that, to bend that area. It does look a little weird when it's a tighter outfit. But the way I pose him anyway, usually is with his legs like that, and then his arms or one arm above his head or both. And then I turn his head to one side with the pacifier. That's his normal pose, like a froggy. So really cute. Oh, you look so cute, Jack. Look at you. Oh, I miss him like this. He used to love raspberry kisses on his belly. And I was just talking to him about that the other day. I said, "Do you remember when Mommy used to do raspberry kisses? You used to laugh hysterical." And he says, "Yeah, I remember." I said, "You don't remember." I mean, I did that to them when they were toddlers too, the raspberry kisses on the tummy. So he might remember as a toddler. I don't know. All right. So let's move you over here so we could get your heavy, heavy sister over here. Heavy Danielle. And you know what? I do have a little weight still. I do have a little glass beads left in a little hosiery, with pantyhose. I do have one left. That I'm saving for a baby that needs it, obviously. But I did have a couple of them, and I added one to Jack's torso. Not that he needed it, but it just made him feel more like my Jack because Jack was heavy. So I would say he weighs around 6.5 pounds right now, where she weighs over 7 pounds. She's a little bit heavier than him, but she's also a little bit bigger. And then my new baby is over 10 pounds, which I can't even imagine. I'm trying to think, like, what? Like, when you think of 10 pounds, I think of, like, the toddler dolls, like June and, what were the other ones? Joseph and, that size baby. So I don't know. I'm a little, I'm a little confused here, but we'll see soon, right? All right. So let's take her gown off. This gorgeous gown. And I think, you know what, easiest way is to unbutton it, and then I could just rebutton, just snap it again. These are pretty easy, usually, if you're in the right position, I guess. You know what, I could start from down here. I could just pull it over her head, but look at her head is all the way twisted. You can't even see her. I guess I'm trying to rush and do this. I don't know why. Well, I know why, because it's a long video. But I'm just going to unsnap this. And I love these gowns. The gowns and the Cakequin rompers and the copper pearl gowns are, like, hands down my most favorite outfits to dress the reborns in. They're just so cuddly and cozy, and they have nice colors and prints and fabrics. So, really nice stuff. The next gown I really would love to get is actually... It has a white background and blue bows all over it, like a blue bow print. Like I've had that on my list for a while. I really, really want that. Every time I see it, I'm like, should I buy it? Should I just do it? Should I just buy it? But a lot of times, especially, God, you have other things to buy. Almost $30 for one doll outfit. And then it usually just stays on the list, like everything, like everything else, And then I'll eventually get to it, All right, let's see. So we're going to put the purple one on you, huh? Now, she doesn't have those things like Jack has. So his has, like, the knee is like this and his knee like that. This body does not have that. So, and, I mean, both of them are... I would say they're equally fun to pose. I don't find, like, one better than the other or favor one over the other as far as the cuddle bodies that Anna makes. And again, this is a different size doll as well. This is, she's bigger than Jack. And also I've had him for years, so I'm sure her method has changed. Her weighting method definitely has changed over the years. And I don't know if she just does that for me because she knows I like the babies heavy. Or if she does that for all her dolls. I know she weights them pretty good. But if you ask her, like, Anna's really good like that. Like, if you ask her for a specific, weight or whatever, she does really listen to the customer, I feel, Whereas other people do, like, I would say she does, her dolls are custom. They really are. Because, you know, you get to pick what, you know, how you want the doll to be. And I mean, some people, I will say this, like, I'm good with Anna doing a loose custom for me. And that's what she does, really, because she knows what I like by now. So really, it's just loose custom. You know, I'll pick the hairstyle, and tell her if I want it, you know, dark or medium or light. And, you know, she knows I like them heavy. And she knows I like the long eyelashes and, you know, just other little things. And she already knows that. So if I want, like, so usually when I do a custom now, all I do is pick, like I said, the hairstyle and if I want it dark or not. And then if there's like a, you know, she knows that she totally skips the veining layer because I don't like, she knows I don't like the veins. She knows I like the little rash and the baby to have a little cheek rash and stuff. She knows I don't like scratches or pimples, nothing like that. I don't like the big birthmark thing in the head. Um, so she knows, she already knows what I like. So that's why I feel it's like just a loose custom, I guess. So if I want anything else like specific to that doll, I'll let her know. But she's really good with that, guys. So if you're looking for a custom doll, right now, I don't know if she's very busy. I'm not really sure, but you could always ask her. You know, she's on Instagram and Facebook. And you could just reach out to her and say, hey, you know, um, I'm interested in one of your dolls, and, you know, how do we, you know, go from here? Whatever. And she's pretty good to work with. Usually, you know, when you order a doll, you just need a deposit. And I think her base deposit for a full limb is $250. I could be wrong. Okay, so now we got her. Now we need to find gloves. Cute. We're going to find headbands and gloves. Let me look here. You know what? I brought the whole thing out. So let's just look together. But she looks so cute in the purple. Look at that Chupa Chup face. All right, so we got these. Well, we don't need these on her, but I love these. These are one of my favorite shoe booties, whatever you want to call it, knit booties. I love the crossover look. It's so cute. I'm sure the new girl will fit into those really well. So let's see. We have this. We're going to try this. Does this headband match? No, that's too light. Okay. I think we're going to be best with this one. And remind me that I'm putting this on my wrist. Like you could tell me through here. I have, no, see, there, I don't have the right kind of purples. Like that could go, but no, I think it takes away from that. And then I don't really have, oh, I have this one. Let's see. I have this purple, no, that will match. I think this purple one is the best match. And then I do have a purple pacifier that we could try. And I have a blue one, I think, somewhere for Jack, but it's not in here. It's probably with the boys' stuff. And as far as mittens, I have this with the gold dots. I think we might have to go with that because other than that, I only have pink stripes and light pink. So I don't think that's going to work. So let's try these with the purple pacifier and this purple headband. That's what we're going to have to go with for now. Yeah, I need to kind of do a bow restock, especially since I have another girl coming. And mittens are scarce. Is that how I call it? Scarce? Scarce? No, scarce. Okay, let's see. Hope this is... There we go. There you are. I know you have... I know Jack has a pacifier in his... in the crib there. That's another thing. I got to make room because I have no idea where I'm putting this new baby. No idea. Because the way I attach the bouncer to the bassinet, now you can't really put a baby underneath that side. I mean, you can, but it would be difficult to get them in and out, and I don't like that. So really, that's only for 2 dolls. I'm going to have to put the big baby on top and then squeeze her and Jack together on the bottom. That's probably what we're going to have to do for now until I find... you know what I found on... I think I put it on my list. I think I did. It's this cute little bassinet for like $30. It's actually meant for dolls, but it holds dolls up to, I believe, 24 inches. It's a bigger piece, but it's still for dolls. It's doll furniture, but it's really pretty. It's all pink, and then it has like a cute pink like canopy top. Um, so I've had that on my list. It was out of stock for quite a while, and I think they just gave me notice that it's back in stock. So I may have to, if I can, I may grab that next month. So I have a new spot for the new baby, and I could put that right in front of me because I'm gonna want to keep her close. But it was just a cute, cheap kind of alternative. $30 for a piece of doll furniture. I mean, you know. Anyway, so here she is. Oh, let me put her headband on. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put it on like from this angle. Hey, I remembered. All right, let's see if we could do it. Let's see. It might pop right back off. Wait, let me see. If I could hold it. There, she could sit on my chest here. All right. Let's see. Don't fall forward, all right? I got to fix this a little better off camera, but, I want to kind of unroll it. There. Oh, my baby. Oh, don't fall. Don't slide. We're not on the slide here. Oh, my baby. Now, of course, I would prefer, different mittens, but it doesn't look that bad. Look at her. See how cute these kind of outfits are on them? Look how cute she looks. She looks so real. Look. And then that's how... Oh, see? Don't hit mommy in the head. Look, like they just fall. You see how like cuddle babies fall like that? I love that about them. I love that. That's why I love my cuddle babies so much. I can't wait to hold the new one. Look how she just like melts in your arms, and then she like... I love when their arm just like goes over like that when they fall asleep. Look at her. She's just a little angel. Oh, my baby Danielle. So cute. All right, guys. Let me bring Jack on, and then we'll close out because this is a really long video. Let's go. Come on. So here they are. Oh, and they look so cute, don't they? Look at my babies. Look at my babies. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for watching today. It was an extra long video, and I hope everybody enjoyed the content. And there I go with not knowing what I'm talking about, and I just keep going like the Energizer Bunny. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. And again, a big thank you to everybody that reached out to me and told me their stories, and just everybody. Thank you so much. You know who you are. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It really helped out a lot. So I'm going to see you next time. I don't know if next time is going to be a box opening or not, but we'll hope so, right? And then, hey, if the doll happens to show up today, which I don't think it will, but if it does, I might just have to hop back on later because I don't know if I could wait. But we'll see what happens. I doubt it's going to come today, but we'll see. And then the next video, I do want to go through the giveaway stuff. Before I end this, I'm going to put them down, and I'm going to just... Maybe I'll pause you and take you off just to show you everything that I have over here. I'll do that quick. So I will pause you and then show you all the giveaway stuff with the... I didn't organize it yet. It's just in Ziplocs, but I'll just show you all the stuff that I have so far. And then we'll do that another day on another video, and I'll kind of show you each item. And then we can kind of pick which box it's going to go in since I'm making 2 giveaway boxes. And then once those are full, then we'll do a... giveaway entry video, and then we'll pick a winner, 2 winners. Then we'll pick 2 winners from there, and you could enter like I'm gonna label the boxes as to what they're called, and then the first place winner can choose which box they want, and then the second place winner gets what the first place did not want. So we'll do it that way. So yeah, so we'll go through that stuff in the next video, and thank you for joining me today. Big shout out to my girl Amanda over at Wawa's Angels Nursery. Go check out her nursery. She has a bunch of beautiful babies for sale. Very affordable as well. So go check out her page on reborns.com. And a big shout out to my bestie Christina over at Cuddles by Christina. Go check her out. I don't know when her last video was made, but go check her out anyway, because she's just a darling, darling girl. And check out Sherry over at Sherry's. No, Sherry does not have a channel yet, but I'm trying. I'm trying. But, some people don't want to do that, and that's okay, too. I mean, me and Sherry have lots of laughs without, me watching her videos, so. And she just sent me little clips of stuff. And, of course, shout out to Alicia over at Padme Padawan Little Reborns. Go check out her videos. Her and Tony are doing a, is it called a waffle? I forgot what it's called. But basically when you give a donation of $50 or more, you're entered into a pool to win a cooler, I believe it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alicia. I don't know the name of the cooler. There is no way I can remember. Oh, wait. A Yeti. I knew it. It was like at the top of my brain. I'm like, it's a Yeti. That's what it is, right? I think that's what it is. But they need a few more spots, and then they will draw a winner for that. So if you are interested in seeing what you would be donating for and what the cause is, please go check out Alicia's videos. Her husband, Tony, is awaiting a kidney transplant, and they need money to get back and forth to appointments and for his testing, etc., etc., etc. So please go check out her videos. And she just dressed Sammy, and I think she just did a video today because they were popping up like crazy when I was on this video. So go check her out. She's a lovely woman as well. And as well as there's so many beautiful content creators. And I want to say, don't let a couple of bad apples spoil your fun, because they're out there, guys. They're out there, and the drama continues. I think you all know what I mean. The drama continues. And you know what? It's real life. It's real life. And, I got to get back to mine. I got to get back to my real life. I'm sure Jack is going to be home soon. I'm sure. So let me go, and I will see you on the next one, guys. I'm going to pause you for a minute and show you the giveaway stuff quick in Ziplocs. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you next time, hopefully with a box opening of a giant baby. And I'll see you next time on Little Meatballs Nursery. And please let me know what you think of my new hairstyle. And should I dye it or should I leave it? Do you guys like the color or nah? It's too old looking for me. Like, I like it some days, and others I'm like, oh, I look like a granny, and I don't know. I don't know yet. You know what it is? I think I look too much like my mom with the gray hair. I think that's what it is. But anyway, so let me show you that, and I will see you on the next video, guys. Bye-bye. Love you all. Take care. Hold on. Okay, guys, so this is what I mean, okay? So we have 2 of the boxes there, okay, the medium flat rate boxes. There's Ellie's slippers back there. I'm going to have to get those to you. But here's the 2 boxes here, and this rug is horrible, guys. I have to replace this rug. It's so worn right now. But anyway, so this is all like the stuff. So I put everything in Ziplocs to keep everything nice. So here's that beautiful hat. And there's Jack. Hold on one second. Okay, guys, so that was Jack. So Jack's home. I knew he was going to be home soon. Anyway, you know what I forgot, guys? Look, weren't we supposed to try this on Danielle first before putting the purple on her? Oh, I'm not on my head, my brain. Well, we'll try that on her next time because she looks too cute in that right now. Okay, so we have the black hat. Then we have this. This was the loved shirt that I didn't wash. Okay, so that's going to be included in one of the giveaways. Then we have this green satin toddler dress, which I think this was a 12 months. I'm not going to open it right now, but can we see that? Yes, 12 months. That green emerald satin dress that I'm not going to use on them. Then we have this whole big bag of shoes, the furry glittery slippers, the Dorothy shoes, and the Hello Kitty shoes. And these are all size 2, I believe. or 3. There might be a 2 and a 3 in there. Wait, what is that? That's a 3. I think those are a 2. I think the sneakers are a 2, and these are a 2. Can you see through? Yeah, those are a 2. So we have those. Then, let me switch my hand here so I hope you could hear me. Then we have these little hair bows. 2 have the bunnies on them. Then I have that's the cardigan, and then a little pair of socks. And then I have this beautiful silvery backpack. Okay. Which Christina, I think, said this is Junior's, I think. I think Christina's the one that said this is Junior's. How do we know, Christina? Does it say? Silver, it just says butterfly mini bag. Justice brand is maybe Justice for, I don't know. Maybe Justice is for Juniors. I don't know. And then, remember, I opened the mini babies, and I got a double. So that ball is in there. I will take that other one out. But the bottom ball has the unopened baby and the unopened... Oh, my God, my hands are gross. Look at my hands, guys. I need lotion for sure. How embarrassing. All right. Well, we'll end it at that. So we got to go through the stuff and then, you know, put it into the different boxes and see, and then see what else we got to add. But anyway, thank you all for joining me today, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.